Okay, so now that we're recording, as I said, it'll be a 3-step process. We'll share, we'll go within, discover, see if get in touch if there's any feelings about letting the site go, and then we'll release that by writing it on paper and either melting it, what we're going to do here, or at home you can burn it or write it on toilet tissue, flush it down the toilet. And then we're going to meditate again, get in touch with what we wish for the future for this site and for the people that inhabit it, write a word or two on a white stone, and then we're going to plant these stones on the property. Those at home, you can use anything. You can use a stone, you can use a feather, you can use a seashell, something that you can infuse with the energy and then leave here when you visit here next. Preferably, it would be something that's biodegradable, but a stone is fine. That's not going to harm anything. You can even put it on a piece of paper and, bury the paper because it's going to dissolve eventually. What I did do also is I have tea lights, which we're going to turn on during the meditation, on chairs. And not only does this allow us to keep our physical distancing, but each light is going to represent members who have moved away, who have passed on, who are no longer with us, who have gone in a different direction. So we want to include unity from the beginning. So including the Chaunceys, these lights will represent unity from the beginning to now. So does anybody have any questions? Okay, so then we'll start. Okay, so I remember my fond memories of unity is that I had met Audrey when I was in Bhutan. And when Dolores Vetter was ordained as an interfaith minister, that's when I first met Audrey. So that had to be the late 90s. And Audrey and I just hit it off. I mean, we sat across from each other at the dinner at the restaurant, and we just had all this stuff in common. So for me, it's about, and Audrey ended up being a mentor. So it was about meeting someone who would support me in my journey in unity, and then finding a center that as soon as I walked in the door, I felt like I was home. Of course, what I remember fondly is the Christmas parties and Pat Frayne as the elf. That's so fond. And but I'm sure we all have memories. And would anybody like to share about a fond memory of unity?
Sure.
Judy, and then Kathy. Let me make sure my volume's all the way up. Okay.
Yes, Karen could never hear me. Because I talk so low. I've been with Unity way before we got that space, and many years now. I think what impressed me about Audrey was the fact that whatever I was going through, whatever she had to say on Sunday, it addressed my needs exactly. She was so good at saying just what you needed to hear. The property has been wonderful. We enjoy World Labyrinth Day so much. We enjoy our time out there. It was a wonderful background for, as you said, all the parties and get-togethers. Was a great room for when what Karen remembers is the way we dressed up the space for her sister's memorial. And overall, the property has been wonderful for us, and I sincerely hope that it will be wonderful for anybody who moves into that space.
Thank you, Judy. Thank you. Kathy.
I found unity reading the New Awakenings magazine, probably in 2013, and it had a big a big world, and it said practical Christianity. And I just read it, and it just spoke to me. And I came to the first meeting, the first service, and again, it was Audrey, and just everyone there was so welcoming, and just I sat down and I felt like this is home. And then same thing, Judy. Audrey just like read the signs. I don't know. It was it, but you too, Carmela. You too. I would go and I would just hear what I needed to hear. Unity gave me strength. And then even when Reverend T stepped in, and what a great man he was. And I remember taking part in a workshop, and I forget the name of the workshop. And what stands out in my mind is we were put into groups with people that we did not know. And we had to stand in this group and say something out loud that we had experienced in our life, that we felt shame. I'm getting choked up now. And I remember saying it. It wasn't so bad, but it brought me some shame at the time, and I was just crying, and it came out of my throat, and I said it, and I was still standing. Nothing happened. I wasn't struck dead. People didn't chastise me. Everybody was just loving and so accepting. And it wasn't so terrible. It's not like I murdered someone, but it was something for me. And that's what unity is to me. It's come as you are, and we accept you, and we love you, and we embrace you. And it has become my home. So I feel very blessed to have picked up that New Awakenings magazine, and there it was.
Thank you, Kathy. What comes to mind with everything that you said is that you're really expressing the heart of unity, what unity stands for, rather than a particular building or a space, because who we are is not confined to a space. So I love that everything you said is really, it transcends limitation. Melissa.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. I've only been in the building a couple of times. Kathy Gerandol is the one who invited me to join Unity. And as soon as I got in there, it was Chris that came and gave me a welcoming hug. And then Carmela did. And I'm like, who are these people like hugging me? And like, but I felt so welcome, so support. Like, it's such a safe, like that space is very safe, very positive energy in there. But I think it's the people that can continue this in another building space as well, because it is the people that were just so gracious. I can't remember the woman. She was the one that gave me the welcome packet. She's no longer with Unity. She was working in the office in the beginning.
Jean, it was probably Jean.
Jean, that's who it was. Jean.
Yes.
Like, everybody, everybody is so nice. I love this space. It was very positive and had such great love and energy. But I think it is the people, and that's what's keeping me there. I feel very safe. I feel like I can, talk to any of you about anything, that you'll pray for me when I need prayers. And again, it's the people, not so much the building space there. But it is a beautiful, I love driving down that lane. It's beautiful, the woods and everything. It was a really nice space. So, but I think the next one will be just as wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you. And I want to welcome Nancy. Nancy just came in a little late. On Zoom is Melissa, Kathy, and Judy. So what we're doing now is just sharing some memories of unity. Anybody else want to share anything?
Okay.
Yes, Nancy.
I had met John and Lainey at the Course in Miracles in Princeton, and something else that they could do. About, I think it was early 2018, and we had gone out to lunch, and John was telling me about the unity and how he was a musician, and I was at the Unitarian Universalist congregation for a long time, and I wasn't feeling very satisfied because we're mostly atheists, which is fine, but I just didn't feel like aligned with most of the people and the beliefs and stuff. And anyway, or the lack of beliefs. But so, and at the same time, I was looking for a space to teach my Buddhist meditation classes, or what we call branch place. We have Buddhist Center in Lambertville and one in Milburn, and I was trying to get a space. So I showed up partly just to check the space out, and I met Anne, and Anne, we talked for quite a while, and she said, I don't know if we would do that, but I'll ask. So in the meantime, I sat in on the service, and I was just so taken by the message, the divine is within you, and the warmth and the welcoming. It was so completely contrasted to the UU places I've been going. Then John started talking about the music, and I'm like, forget about the meditation. Forget about renting the space to teach. I'll just come here. And that I started coming in spring of 2018, and then I left the other place in December 2018. Came here full time.
Well, we're glad you're here. Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, so as I mentioned before, we're going to go into a meditation. And before we go into the meditation, we're going to turn on these tea lights and turn off the overhead lights. And then I'll move the laptop so you can see what it looks like. And then we'll move into a meditation. So I'm going to ask you all to just switch the tea light on. Actually, there for Gary's walker to my suggestion. Okay. Okay. Too bad the iPad wasn't working. That would be so much easier. So I'm just gonna, hope you can see this. We have tea lights on the chairs. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see that?
Yes, it's beautiful.
Okay.
Yes, we can see it.
Good. So as I said, these tea lights not only mark safe physical distancing, but they're really here to represent Unity's history. The light of all the people who were here, the people that started it, the Chaunceys, Audrey, all the members of the board, and members who started coming when it was just a study group. They also represent those members, beloved members, who are no longer with us, who have made their transition, and members who have moved away and continued their life elsewhere. Now, these lights, as you can see, they're small, but they're bright. And each of us, no matter what we look like in physical stature, our lights are bright. And that's what unity is. We're the light. Jesus said, I am the light of the world. We are that light. And we exude that light to all who come into our presence, because this is who we are. We are the light. As I said earlier, whenever there's change, whenever we're looking at something new, something we haven't experienced for, a shift, there might be some fear around that. There's always, in my experience, some grief with letting go, some holding on to the familiar, And what I'd like to do now is just go within and see regarding letting go of this space. Is there any fear there? Is there any holding on, unwillingness to let go? So I'm going to invite you all now to close your eyes. And just relax in your body. Put your hands comfortably on your lap. And just feel yourself relaxing more and more with every breath you take. You feel your chair supporting you completely, and you just let go. We're so blessed to be in this physical space, whether it's virtual or whether we're here in person. We share with one another the history of this center, the history of Unity Spiritual Center. For all those that we have met, all those we have not met, that has helped form and shaped this community. Each one of us, the former, the present, has always been here to support and love one another, to love one another unconditionally and work together for the good of this community. Saying goodbye, making changes sometimes can be very uncomfortable. So even though we envision a beautiful, bright future, there may be some residual feelings within us that we now give opportunity to come up. We allow ourselves to go within and be totally honest about our feelings regarding letting go of this space. So I invite you to move deeper and deeper into the silence and just listen. How do I feel about letting go of this space? Is there sadness? Is there grief? I notice any attachments that I may have, and I become willing to let them go. I bless my past experiences here, and I open up to embrace all future experiences. And I know that there will always be a place in my heart for this physical space, for all that happened in this physical space, for all the joy and camaraderie that I experienced here. And I allow myself to feel any grief, any discomfort that may surface. And I allow myself to hand this over to the Holy Spirit so that I can truly let go and make room to embrace the future. So once again, I allow myself to go deeper into the silence and I listen. I hold in my heart the wonderful memories of the joyful, loving experiences that I've shared here. And I open my heart and my mind for all the good that is to come as this community continues in a different form. I bring those people to mind that I've loved here, and I bless them. I bless the joy. I bless the opportunity for having been able to share my life with them. And I bless Unity Spiritual Center, the past, the present, and the future. Amen. So now I invite you to bring your consciousness back into your body, back into the room where you are. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Now, what we're going to do here is I'm going to pass out the dissolvable paper and pens. And at home, you can use any paper you'd like. As I said, you can use toilet tissue so you can flush it. You can use a regular piece of paper and burn it. And I'd like you to record anything that came up for you, anything that you'd like to release, whether it's sorrow, anger, grief, sentimentality, or whatever. And then we're going to dissolve it. And at home, you can do what you would like. So I'm going to ask you to take a piece of paper and a pencil or a pen, or you can use, take the marker. You're going to need that later. Take a marker and a pen. Perfect. Yeah, take a marker and a pen. A marker and a pen. You have a marker and a pen? And while you're all doing that at home, I'm going to go get a bowl of water so that we can complete the process here. Okay, so I'm gonna turn the lights on so you can see what you're doing. I just don't want to shock your eyes. Don't put it in there, Pete, because I'm gonna spray them all with Lysol
It
before we put them
doesn't
back.
work. Doesn't work.
Okay, is everybody at home still writing, or are you done? Hi, Pam. If anybody's still writing, just raise your hand so I can wait. Okay, so I invite you at home to either tear it up and flush it or burn it. And we are going to dissolve our paper. So I'll start. You can just put it in here and it'll dissolve. Supposed to dissolve. It is? Okay, good. Oh, yes, I see it. Okay, great. Perfect. So how does that feel? Does it feel like you released anything? It does. Okay, how about at home? Was anybody surprised by anything that came up for them? Actually, I'm far enough away. I can take this off for now.
So many memories. So many memories. I was thinking about the children, the last children's Christmas program that I attended, and it was just so amazing. It was just, spiritual and loving and just a beautiful ceremony.
Yeah. One thing about, we've been blessed with such amazing kids throughout the years, and they've grown to such wonderful, open, aware young men and women, and I do remember that last one also. The Eastern region, actually the Eastern region YFM came up with those ideas and shared them. So we were able to not only do it here, but there were other centers doing the same ceremony on those Christmases. And it really is amazing, the connection and the gift that we have in these kids. So thank you, Kathy. Anyone else want to share anything about that? Okay. So now, the thing about releasing is that when before we can accept anything new, we have to make space for it. So we just made space by releasing any residual energy into holding on or not being willing to move forward with change. So it really is a very healing process. So now we're just gonna basically give gratitude, express gratitude, and really thank this property for housing us, this building, these grounds for housing us for 20 years. And envision what we would like it to look like in the future. You know, what we see for ourselves, for this center, going forward, being on mission, almost like what comes next. So basically, it's expressing the love and the joy that we have for this building and infusing that love into these stones, which we're going to plant, and visioning what we would like to see happen in the future. So I'm going to pass out these stones for everyone here, and then we'll move into a meditation. And at home, again, I invite you to have a stone, a feather, a seashell, anything that can be put in the ground, even a piece of paper that is biodegradable that we could put into the ground, because we will be placing these. In fact, everyone here can go outside when we're done and just find some place to plant your stone. The mulch in front is probably going to be very easy to just push it underneath the mulch, but you can toss it into the woods. You can do anything with it. And everyone that's online can hold on to whatever you use and bring it here the next time you come. So John and Lainey just walked in. Hi. Take any seat that doesn't have a candle on it. Any seat that doesn't have a candle. So I'm going to pass out the stones. And the reason we're using the white stones is that the white stones, I believe, are calcium. And I think Lainey said that they were calcium. And John told me. Okay, and that it will, it's biodegradable. It will not harm the soil, so we can plant it. And I'm going to give both of you, just take a marker. And so now I'll turn off the lights again as we move into meditation. Okay, so I invite you once again to get comfortable in your seats and just let go. And hold the item in your hand. If you're holding a stone, you can feel the coolness of the stone. Whatever you're holding, feel the texture. And get into the sensations of feeling that. And see what's happening in your body. What does this feel like to you? Now, as you feel the sensations in your body and you feel whatever's in your hand, move that energy up into your heart. And while we're having a very tactile experience by feeling this item in our hand, we tune into the center of our being and we allow this item in our hand to be a messenger, to be a vehicle for expressing that which we feel within, that which we hold in gratitude, what this center has meant for us, and for the blessings that we wish for all who enter this space after we've left. So maybe you're feeling joy. Maybe your heart is overwhelmed with love. Maybe you're excited with the anticipation. Maybe you're wishing success, abundance. Whatever that feeling is, just allow it to come forward stronger and stronger. And feel the energy of that just being infused with the item that's in your hand. This item represents all the hopes and wishes I have for the next owners, that they may live and enjoy and love this space just as much as I did. This is passing the torch to whoever comes next. And with that, I infuse my love, my joy, my gift into this item. For this item, when planted, will continually exude this loving energy that I'm infusing in this. And by planting my gift of love, my gift of joy, my gift of abundance, that which I leave here also remains prominent in my life as I move forward. So I infuse this item, this gift, with all the blessings of my being. And I open up to receive all the good that is intended for me and for the continuation of Unity Spiritual Center. So now I invite you to just contemplate on a word or two. And when you're ready, write those words on whatever you have in your hand, whether it's a stone, a feather, a piece of paper, a rock. And those are the blessings and wishes that we leave for this physical space and for all those who inhabit it in the future. And if you choose to do so, I invite you to go outside and plant the stone. And those of you at home, just hold on to it. And whenever you get here next, you can plant whatever. You can plant it wherever you would like, or you can put it in the, toss it in the woods. And I'm going to go out and plant mine. Yes, they all dissolved. And I'm going to turn the light on again, but you can, you can put it wherever you want. You can toss it in the woods. You can put it in the bushes.
Okay, what do we do with our plate?
Oh, just keep them on the side because I'm going to, or just put them up here on the table. I'm going to spray them with Lysol before I put them away.
Okay.
Yeah, just keep them here on the side. I'm going to spray them before
Okay.
I put them away. So while everyone here is out putting their, planting their stone, what was it like for you? Did you feel a difference between the first meditation and the second? Or what came up the first time and what came up the second? Kathy?
Yeah, nothing kind of came up the first time because I feel like this is the right decision, that it's a beautiful space but it's now time to move on. So I felt like the word acceptance kept coming up so that I didn't feel like I had anything negative in me, but acceptance. So that wasn't really a good thing. But then acceptance came up the second time too, and beginnings, acceptance and new beginnings. So
Nice, very nice. Thank you.
mhm.
Thank you. So we're just still waiting for a few more people to come back in.
I found one of the big stones that Audrey had donated to us when we were doing the feng shui thing that we suggested that some rocks be placed around.
Oh, I didn't know
And they're
that.
Still there. Big rocks that are kind of under the shrubs.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's great.
Yeah.
Good, okay. So I had asked those joining us on Zoom if there was a difference between the two meditations and if there was anything that they wanted to share that came up. I know for me, kind of like what Kathy said, I didn't have any energy about not about letting go, about releasing the space. You know, I am going to miss the labyrinth and the grounds and the sanctuary, but my attachment isn't there anymore because I really feel in my heart that we're being led in another direction. So I didn't have any energy really about that. But what I feel is I just feel like from my heart that this place is going to be so successful for the next people to come in. And what I wrote on the stone was love, abundance, joy, and success. And that's what I envision and wish for the next people that occupy this space, whatever they do with it. New life. Lainey said new life. Thank you, Lainey.
Are the draperies of Kathy?
Yes, Kathy made these. Yeah. And those we'll figure out how to use. I was even thinking that if we just have a podium, that I would drape the various ones you've made over the podium on a Sunday morning.
You know, I was thinking of that too, especially these which are narrow,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, so. Okay, so is there anything that anybody would want to share before we conclude today? I'm also going to say, if you'd like to offer a love offering, there's you can use the basket or bag in the back, and anyone who would like to can also go online for to share a love offering. And so right now, what I'd like to do, unless anybody has anything else they'd like to share.
I'd just like to say thank you for doing this, Carmela.
Oh, thank you, Judy. I'm glad you could join us.
Oh, me too. Karen sends her regrets.
Thank you. Okay. And again, I'm sorry about the iPad that I had to keep you all waiting, but something told me to go check it, see on my laptop, because I had a feeling that people were joining us and it just wasn't working on the iPad.
Yeah.
So what I'd like to do is that what we always do in Unity is to end with a prayer. So I'm going to invite you to close your eyes and just relax in your seats. And just focus your energy on your heart. Every day we begin and end our day with prayer. Prayer centers us and keeps us in touch with the idea of the Christ within, with the recognition of the Christ within, with the knowledge that there is only one. There is one human family guided by that same divinity inherent in each of us. Where we go, whatever we do, we are the light. We spread our love and our compassion and our joy with all of God's creation because we are one. Nature, humans, we all radiate that divine perfection that is what we truly are. Born of love, we spread love. Born of divine life, we offer this divine life to all that we meet. We are God expressing as us, as beautiful individual lights of one human family. I know that who I am and what I am continues to grow and expand as I develop in consciousness and in the awareness of my divinity. God is, I am, we are one. So again, I'd like to thank you for taking the time to join with us today, here in person or online, to really offer our love, our gratitude and love for all that we've experienced here, and to open a way for the future, for the next generation of people to use this building. So thank you all. And I hope to see you tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. And I am recording this session, so again, I apologize for the iPad not working and those of you who had to wait, but we will hopefully post this on our website. I'm not sure if we can do it on YouTube, but I know we can do it on the website. So thank you all. See you tomorrow.
Thanks, Carmela. Bye, guys.
Let me just do this.